Support the future of culture at the Division of Culture's End of Year Concert, a concert showcasing the best of Grenada's emerging talents. See you there.
It is Realist 91.9, 91.5, www.therealfmgrenada.com. Good morning, Grenada. Good morning, Carol, Copidi, Martinique, and the rest of the Eastern Caribbean. My name is Andrew Donald. Of course, you know that already. Just by the sound of the voice, you know who it is. But interestingly, you don't know who I've got in studio with me. That's the thing. You don't know who's in studio with me this morning. But I do have a guest. And, let me rephrase this, yeah? Because no one from St. Patrick is a guest to what they own. If you put it just plain, frank, and simple. No one from St. Patrick. Oh, let me get my recordings going here properly so I can come back to you and we can speak to that. As I said, no one from St. Patrick can be a guest to what they own. What do I mean? Well, ever since I started this entity 18 years ago, I said it belonged to the people of St. Patrick, and that's a fact. As far as I'm concerned, it belongs to the people of St. Patrick, and it is theirs to do what they will. So if this fails, it's not just Andre failed, we failed. That's what it is. So let's cut that now, put that aside. And who do I have with me? Well, I have with me a gentleman who's been around in the trenches of St. Patrick for a long, long, long time. Not as long as me, because of course I'm older. But he's been around for a long time and he's impacted our way of life. And it's just like, well, when I say way of life, it's just a matter of saying, well, our culture. Simple. Yeah, that's one word of this to describe way of life. And he's impacted our way of life. I remember distinctly the days when he was trying to get his fingers to get accustomed to, what do you call the thing? Is it the fret? The fret on the guitar? Yeah, I remember the days. You guys would see him playing and he looked so fluent and head in the air and he's doing things. You should have remembered the days when he was fighting to keep that big thumb where it was being the small finger and getting it in that position. Those were the days. Now, let me stop talking about the guy's private business. Good morning, Kenneth Mark. How are you doing?
Good morning, Angie. I'm doing fine.
Nice.
I feel so happy when you because I could still see that you're my big brother.
Nice.
Be it at school, be it in the community. So I feel so happy when you're reminiscing the days when I struggled on my guitar.
Yeah, I would know that, wouldn't I?
Of course you will. The days I didn't have a guitar at the time. I used to go. This guy died now, Nigel Alexander. We used to call him Tricks.
Nigel Alexander,
Chum brother.
Chum's brother, the one who had the disorder when the coconut fell on his head or something.
Yeah,
I remember.
He used to walk to Cedars to use his guitar as my interest. But today, that interest is where I am. It's my job. I enjoy it totally.
Well, let me say to you, congratulations on the fact that I even remember the days when you, well, not flirted, but you're part of Shirley Robinson's what's it called again? Karawa, was it?
You just name it. Everything wrong.
You were in part and parcel around Shirley
in
Robinson.
Everything. Church choir.
And you still play with the choir, don't
still
you?
Play.
Still play with the choir after all these years. And I say congratulations to you because you stuck to it. I tell you a story that I wouldn't call names. I just give it in a nutshell. I remember all the bad vibes you got when you tried to play guitar. And this is and then you ended up, I'm not gonna say what they said, then you ended up with Laddie Duncan.
Yes.
Right.
I'm pilgrimage.
Let's leave that story alone.
Please.
I know a lot of people would ask you today, even people at work may ask you today, what was that one about?
I know.
That was a nice one.
Yeah.
That one was a nice one. But we leave that one
alone.
We leave that one alone. Today you are here in the studios of Real 91.9 FM And well, you're no stranger. And just to let folks know that they're probably wondering, okay, fine, knowing that you're still in culture, yes, but they're probably wondering, where you at, how are things going. Well, what we have had in culture, if I can tell you, friends, is a bit of transition took place where Tommy Matthew, who was the director of culture, um, he retired after many years as a cultural officer, also as a teacher, because he did teach at the St. Mark Secondary School for a period before going on to the ministry. And Tommy has since retired and moved on. And I understand, K-Mark, that you are the person earmarked to take that position or to assume the chair. Is that correct?
Yeah, that is true. Well, I am in the chair right now.
Oh, you are,
quote unquote, but there is still some little things some I's to dot and some T's to cross to final. But I am in that position right now, heading the Department of Culture.
Congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
Congratulations. The first thing I saw of you, though, I saw you in the bush in a couple of pictures in Karaku. I said, oh, what are you doing in the bush there? And then I read a caption that you guys are visiting some cemetery or something like that.
Right, yes.
So what are you doing? Leave bushy and bush in Karaku?
I went, the team from the ministry went, management team went. I went really because I want to, they want me to start a music lab in Karaku.
Oh, wonderful.
But as we were there, they were giving us a tour of some of the
historical
sites in Karaku. So that's why you see in the.
I wonder what you do in the bush.
Yeah, well, that's. But it was nice. It was nice. A welcome experience. I didn't realize Karaku have a wealth of history when it comes to African retention, because they were showing us something about Kojo, one of the Africans. His tombstone. I thought the retention was in music, because I know the Karaku could trace the background as far as Senegal right now, because as we speak, Mr. Fleury nephew is in conversation with the Minister of Culture right now. I had to be at that meeting as well, but I had to be here, so I couldn't be here. He's there now because they want to, I think the people from Senegal want to document Mr. Fleury, all the works that he did in Karaku. And I think they want to go to Portugal, because, a whole set of things. So I would like to be in that meeting, but I prefer to be here though. But I will know about it, and I will let you know a little bit more.
Well, of course, you need to keep us informed, because it's so very important. Because I've heard over and over and over through the past years that there's that distinct link.
Yes.
Even some of the utterances and the cultural practices,
the
of
dances,
the people,
the temne,
from
the big drum is the same, identical
the same thing.
In Senegal, and they did some research, and they realized that the Senegal people were really, really in Karaku, truly in Karaku. So they still want to keep that link, which is nice, and that will augurs well for Grenada. So as I say, his nephew is with the minister now in that conversation.
Well, that's good to know. Anyway, let's fast forward or no, let's rewind. Man, let's get to our conversation this morning.
Right.
You're here to tell us about something special that's taking place when today? Or
next Wednesday.
Next Wednesday. What is that?
The 30th end of year concert. The Ministry of Culture, we work with schools over the years. We work with schools and communities, but mainly schools. So we have programs like the school orchestra, the violin program, dance program, music program, drum corps, calypso. And what we do every year is that we try to showcase that talent at the end of the year. If you're beginners, you're intermediate, you're professional, we try to showcase you, because we deal with performance. So this year, we had a lapse with COVID, 2 years. So this year, we're bringing it back. So on the 30th of this month, we have a concert at the it's Center 30, where we are showcasing what we do in schools. So that is why I'm here, to speak a little more about it.
Okay. And 5:30 at the Trade Center, schools. Ooh. Which are some of the schools that we're performing at?
Right, lovely. We try to for now the department is concentrated totally with schools in St. George's, but at the same time we have links. For instance, if Convent in Grenville wants something really desperate, they will call the department and we try to make ourselves available. So even though we are working in schools, we still incorporate other schools around the island. So we have the violin program. We have the St. Patrick RC, Roman Catholic, St. Andrews will be down there. We have the St. Paul's Government. We have Convent St. George's, Convent Grenville. We have the St. Andrews Learning Center, which is a private school, but they deal with a lot of good violin. So we have them along. We have PBC. We have Conception Dance Theater as well, and Boca Secondary. We still incorporate some of the beginners, intermediate from the community groups so that we can showcase. Because if we use exactly what we have, we're working with, it wouldn't be enough to do our end-of-year concert. So we had to incorporate augment what we have with some of the community groups and schools that we're not actually working with, but somehow or the other, we have that close connection. So we could say, we could have called Convent and we say, Convent, we want you to do choral speaking. So you have about 50 to 60 students coming and do 2 pieces, choral speaking. I love music, but I like choral speaking. It's just like music too, because you have to say the poem or the poetry in unison and with accidentals, with dynamics. Because sometimes you go soft, sometimes you go loud, sometimes you speak in a whisper.
Put life to the words.
I always like choral speaking.
Put life to the words.
It touched my soul.
Is it something with my ears, or
Tell me.
I didn't hear a St. Patrick school being involved? Is this something with my ears?
Yes, it's not something there.
Okay.
We didn't have. We tried to identify a school, from St. Patrick's, but it was somehow it's never come out. I'm from St. Patrick's, saying no,
So it must hurt you a lot.
Yeah. So it's never.
What do you think was responsible for that? If you can speak to.
Well, I think it's just that because we are not working with them full time like now, so it's the interest and the drive.
I'll give you a way out. Something that I've seen.
Yeah.
I listened to some netball scores. As a matter of fact, Ray Roberts wrote a piece on it. How the hell, I thought, can a school allow another school to hold it to only 4 points in a netball game, which means 1 point per quarter. And
4 goals?
Yeah, in an entire game. And that's secondary school netball.
Right.
It was Anglican High School, and I don't remember the other school. Maybe it's a good thing I don't remember the other school, because it's not good for them to speak to them of that. They held them to Anglican High School scored 81 or something like that. It was 81-4. Yeah. And I asked myself, I says, well, Andre, what is responsible for that? Because remember, it's our first netball competition.
Right. After COVID.
After COVID. Also, it is our first netball competition after the teachers worked to rule.
Right.
Now, what a lot of people don't realize, and I've said it before, that the work to rule affected students more in the rural areas than in the city.
Right.
Because look at the intercall we had last, or whatever we called it. The schools in the city performed.
Right.
not the schools
Schools
in the rural area.
And you know the rural areas what they
Because
want.
we in the rural area really took the work to rule serious.
Yeah.
And we did not do the extra.
Right.
You and your right. Hey, nobody's against. We did not do the extra as opposed to teachers in the St. George's area. And I thought that the same thing happened with the netball.
Right.
So you had Anglican High School and so would have done.
Still,
they probably didn't have that. They didn't have competition, but it didn't stop them from having intra-house competition.
Correct.
To keep their people active. So that was response for the 81-4. Now, goes back to the cultural thing now.
Correct.
Same work to rule, and it affected our. But I know that our teachers and our cultural enthusiasts in the rural parishes, they will pick up the slack.
Right.
Don't worry.
Well, they have to,
I believe they will pick up the slack.
I letting the cat out of the bag. In 2023, we're bringing back the Common Folk Festival. I say that with that.
You mean in St. Patrick's Day?
In 2023, we're bringing back the
You
Common.
mean St. Patrick's Day?
Of course.
Abby, get ready, girl. That is sweet news. That's music to my ear.
It's coming back.
That's wonderful.
I don't want to say too much.
Don't say too much.
But this is one of the priority areas for 2023 for the Division of Culture. I put it in this year and organize a budget, everything already. So
why do you want to bring it back though?
I want to say that now, if you realize the new dispensation right now is that they want to bring back, everybody's trying to bring back, they want to bring back the Festival of the Arts. But the Festival of the Arts have to take some time to nurture itself. So I'm touching the water with the folk festival because I still have to work with schools. I still have to work with the community. So after the folk festival, I know in 2024, which is our Jubilee 50th anniversary, we can go full-fledged with the Festival of the Arts. Full-fledged, I mean. Not the last time we had it staggered. We're going full-fledged in 2024. So that is the reason why. So I'm touching the water. So in January, from January, we'll start working with the schools up to December, because in December we have the full festival. We start working with the schools, and then we will know that we are ready for the festival.
From your utterances, one would have to agree that you're saying this based on what you're feeling from the present administration, and you feel that yes, they'll be able to back something like this. But the important question is, Department of Culture, are they behind you with this?
Yes, they are. Yeah, they are. The PS is behind me. The minister is behind me. And the staff. We will engage as January start. We start to work because they are asking for the Festival of the Arts, and there is no way we could say no. But we have to create an environment for us to know that we don't go in shabbily into the Festival of the Arts. We want to go full-fledged, but of a standard. So that's the first little water we are touching. We're wetting our feet. So in 2024, we know that we'll be.
You know, one of the things I've and just to quickly touch, and then we get back to a substantive topic. One of the things that I had a problem with, Festival of the Arts, it took place in the city.
No.
That interestingly, that's just
no.
About it. So maybe what we need to do is to publicize it more, so people know of more activities under that umbrella taking place in St. Patrick, in St. Andrew, in St. John, in St. Mark, in Cool, wherever.
The final concert takes place in St. But the competition, the preliminary round and semi-finals happen right around there.
Spread it around.
Yeah, I remember Deluxe Cinema was a main area for holding a lot of the preliminary rounds and semi-finals. Even McDonald College, the Anglican school there, St. Patrick Anglican Primary School was a venue as well. So, no, it is spread out, and it will be spread out.
Okay, great.
The whole Grenada will be involved. Tell me.
Let's get back to that activity for next Wednesday.
Yeah.
As you said, it's be at the Trade Center.
Trade Center.
And singing, dancing, choral speaking.
Steel pan, you
Mhm.
just name it, calypso. We want to introduce something because over the years the Ministry of Culture was just responsible for the performing arts. Talk about music, dance, and theater. We want to, if I am there and continue, we want to bring in the visual arts. Where painting is important, the culinary arts, and we introducing something at that concert on Wednesday, where we want to introduce film making. There is this lady, beautiful young lady, really from St. Patrick, Mashida Philip, who spent a lot of years in America. She, at the concert, she will present a 5-minute film on something Grenadian. And she had this festival not too long ago where she is encouraging Grenadians to be in that institution, actually filmmaking. And there are some Grenadians who are in it. So we want to introduce it. She did some work with schools, showing them how to create films, what to do, etc., etc., etc. So at that concert, Mr. Donald, we want to show a short film so that we can encourage schools and young people in that vein. We at the department will be going in that direction too, because we're thinking about having a film commission, etc., etc. So that we will show that at the concert to just with the appetite of people.
Is there a fee for the concert?
Yes.
What's the fee?
We just didn't want to do it free because we know that in everything else we will incur some costs, even though it's government. So we have $5 for students and $10 for adults.
Have you been, now you're talking to adults here because children probably in school.
Correct, yeah.
Have you been, meaning the Department of Culture, or is it Department or Ministry? I want to get it right.
It's the Department
of Culture. Yeah. Have you guys been speaking to principals, speaking to cultural teachers in the different schools so that they can encourage their own to come out and go down and support?
Right. Well, we know for sure that the schools that are involved, the principal will be there. So they will encourage, especially those that in St. George's, not so much those like in St. Andrews, because bus to come, but still, but they will encourage, because parents like to see what the children are doing. So parents will come out. And I always say that that is one way of advertising. So long as children is involved, the parents spread it. They will meet the fellow parents and say, "What, my child is performing, so and so, can we go?" So, that I always think, anytime you involve schools, naturally it has that advertisement so quickly spread word of mouth. So we are encouraging schools, especially in in St. George's, to come out.
All over.
Yes. But especially all over, but especially in St. George's to come and look at the concert.
One of the things I'd like to say to you, sometimes I say things to you and then they manifest. We just leave that right there.
Yeah, again.
But one of the things I'd love to see happen here, K-Mark, is in coming years, maybe in about 2 years, when we speak to this, even if it's not you and Andre speaking to it, but when the respective entities speak to it, it will be something that we're saying at the National Stadium. So you know what I'm thinking now?
Yeah.
Big. We'll be having the best stage possible. Proper accommodation, of course, for everybody. And we'll be having that event.
Right.
At but what's it called? The last concert?
End of year concert.
We'll be having end of year concert. An opportunity for parents, guardians, and students to socialize
Right.
with the proper supervision.
Right.
So it can come something, close to Kmart, close to intercall.
Right.
Because it's almost like an intercall
Correct.
anyway.
Yes.
If every school, the 20 whatever amount, 26 whatever amount of secondary schools to take part, it'd be like an intercall.
So that is what we will do. Yeah, no, but that's a good idea. So at the end of the day, as you rightly say, if we get all the schools involved, small, little of what they can do, you know what is happening. If all the schools come and represent the national stadium, and we want to give them that experience to perform in a professional setting. That is what we're trying to do all year. Quality equipment, quality sound, real design stage. Feel like you're there performing in one of the biggest stage in America or Germany or Australia. That is what we want to do. So I don't want to say.
I see this in a couple of years.
I don't want to say you just be saying things and I don't want to say too much, because
in a couple of years, I'd really love to see this.
Yes, correct.
It takes off like that. And even when you speak of, we spoke just now of Festival of the Arts.
Yeah.
Festival of the Arts, it should be, I don't know what is going to be the size of the new cultural center that is being built. I don't know the seating capacity, but I would like to see, because this is supposed to be finished in about 10 months. So I would like to see that this venue is christened with the next festival, not this one now, but the next Festival of the Arts. We should be going off to the Simoon Cultural Center for Festival of the Arts, and thus cause that movement of people, not just not just into the city, but into St. Andrews. And it's easier for everybody to get to St. Andrews. The people in Victoria, they go through the Belvedere to get to the people from Guelph, they go through the Belvedere. And St. David's people come this way. People from St. George come over the hill, so we just step over there. Everybody's in St. Andrews.
Right.
As easy as that.
Correct.
As
correct.
easy
Yeah.
as
Correct.
that.
That center, I hope that as planning schools, it reflects what we really want to have and want to do. So I'm looking forward towards it too, and it will give us in the Ministry of Culture, the Division of Culture, a chance to don't have everything in St. George's.
Yeah.
So, like for instance,
Diversify.
So for instance, end of year concert or the how we call it in the festival, yes, winners in concert.
Yeah.
We don't have to have it in St. George. We could go up from St. George. Come up.
Elsewhere.
Yeah, So that is so real and so true, like Real FM. So real and so true.
Who are some of the people that you'd like to identify who have been working hard to make next week a reality?
Well, the entire staff of the Division of Culture. I don't want to single out anyone, but the entire staff has been working tremendous, and as I say, what they are doing now, that used to be my job.
Yeah.
But no, because I'm managing this field, that no, Mr. Mark, you do my management, and then we bring it to you, and then you see. So I know, and I know the work that goes with it, because I have been there, I've done it. So I want to big up the entire staff of the Division of Culture to make this a reality. And outside of that, we have something called hitting this thing. We have something called Complex Christmas, which happens from the 12th to the 16th. I'm just saying, we have we have lunchtime concert for the ministry. So from 12 to about 10 to 1, we have ministries doing some performances, and on the 16th we have a gala performance where all ministries will showcase their color for the Christmas and relax, enjoy themselves.
I mean, come on. That is so unfair. Because culture will win.
No, we have
Come
it,
on.
but we have it as a festival. No, it's not a competition. We have it as a festival.
Unless Ministry of Finance take out some dollars, culture will win.
Yeah, no, it's a festival, so we don't, not competition. We're just having fun.
K-Mac, you can stay there and say what you
We're just having fun.
No way.
Just having
Yes, you're having fun.
You're having
But
fun.
the ladies in the different ministries, they ain't taking this thing as fun. Women like
Yeah, I tell you. Yeah,
They love it.
yeah.
They love
I worked with. I was doing some guitar for agriculture yesterday, and you could see they have that competitive nature. Yeah, you have to ready. And these ladies said they have that competitive nature that they want to win. I say no, it's a festival. We're just having fun. They want to know. They want to know that they sung the best.
This thing is about the winning.
Yeah.
This thing is not about.
Yeah.
Do you think this thing is about them just coming out like that? Are you crazy?
Yeah,
No, it doesn't happen like that. Brother. No, not in our Grenadian way of life. We just like that. We like that competitive spirit.
Yeah.
You know, as I haven't seen him yet to say to him, Mister, you say you retire from the Kaiso thing, you will become irrelevant. You know?
Yeah.
You're not in competition. Nobody.
Yeah.
See what you want their business. Nobody bothers you.
True.
That is how the thing is.
Yeah.
We just love to be competitive in a nice way.
Correct.
Friendly competition
Correct.
is really
Correct.
what works for us.
Correct.
Now, your concert starts at what time?
5:30.
5:30 p.m. Now, we need to, therefore, what we need to do right now and continue to do is to say to public transportation, if this starts at 5:30, give or take, we're looking at 3.5, 4 hours.
Yeah.
3 hours.
Yeah.
So which means that we're looking at 9 o'clock.
Latest.
Please, those buses that ply the Grand Dance bus route, make sure you're available to take the people into the city. And the buses from St. Andrews, St. David's,
St. Patrick's especially,
St. Mark's, St. John, please make sure you're available to take people back home.
Yeah. We have
and don't charge them any exorbitant price to get home.
We have a serious problem with the transport for St. Patrick's, from St. George's to St. Patrick's. I don't have my van, and I tell you, it's a fight, which I don't do.
Well, it's not
anytime after 5 to 8.
You're in trouble.
Is that you have to literally fight to get into a bus because there isn't the buses from St. Patrick's, they don't come back for some reason or the other. I mean, that's a different. We don't want to go there because it's a big topic. I know it's a big topic. I don't want us to go there, but I'm just saying, because I'm.
But then they will tell you that there's a reason, and quickly the reason is that the people from St. Patrick, they don't wait.
Yeah.
That's what they would say, but it's not that. It's the fact that everybody wants to finish work at 6 o'clock.
No.
And I finished talking about that.
Yeah, okay, yes.
We'll talk about that another time.
All right.
But you are the head honcho in a good way at this event. And came out, a lot of people would have heard productions by you and not know that it's productions by yourself.
Yeah.
Is there any reason for me to believe that I can come to this and be graced with a piece done by you?
No. Sadly.
That's sad.
I never think of doing anything, but again, your mouth, you see, no, you're creating something that I have to do now. Well, I have to back up that. So your mouth again. So I have to back up that. So sometime I will have to produce something, be it music-wise, guitar-wise, that I would say yes. I'm showcasing.
The last production that I know you did and did very well, K-Mark, had to do with some national pieces,
Yeah.
like Fair Isle
Right.
and so on,
Right.
that you worked on.
Right.
And
Exclusively, not
exclusive,
not I worked on exclusively. That
exclusively
was
you
my
did that.
project. Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
actually, it's two. I did national patriotic song, and then I did folk songs of Grenada. So I actually have two production. So I, as you rightly said, your mouth again, Mr. Donald.
I like to speak things into existence.
Yeah. So
I like to speak things into existence, and I honestly do believe that the talent that you have is let me say this to you, and I hope that you understand this. The talent that you have was given to you by the Supreme One.
Yes. I want to say that aloud.
But outside of that, there's something that I don't think you have ever focused on. Every time I hear you play or see you play a guitar, my memory triggers that of your best friend. Do you understand me? No, you don't. Your best friend who passed. Every time you play a guitar, I see Mikey.
Yeah.
Every time I see you pick up a guitar to play, that my first thought is, wow, Mikey.
Yeah.
That's my first thought. That is why I'm so passionate about you playing your instrument.
Yeah. He is very instrumental.
And you would understand, because I know he was very instrumental in you being where you are today.
Yeah, correct. He was my best friend. He was my cousin. He was my best friend. And I also want to, with my talent, yes, God given, but I also want to point at some people who were very, very instrumental in where I am too. My mother, who died. But the church, the Catholic Church, was one what embraced that talent with open arms. To the point, as a young man, I was asked to represent the church in Montserrat on a lot of occasions as leader, and my guitar playing took out. It takes some serious, if you want to say the horse race or Hamilton and them with the car, with the car race, it took off, and then the entire Caribbean see my worth. And then even in Grenada, I was really recognized with my guitar playing, because even up to today, when people see me and they talk about me, that's what they see, and they talk about is my guitar playing.
So I mean, when I see you, as I tell you, I see you when you came up. But whenever I see you pick up the guitar, I just think Mikey, for some strange reason.
Michael Keto,
I just think, Mikey, whenever you pick up the guitar, it's I always ask myself why. But maybe it is the way I remember him.
Yeah.
Because you guys are inseparable.
Yeah.
I tell you something, I don't recall. Maybe the only two persons in St. Patrick's as males who were together a lot would have been Ricardo, Jolly, and Shawaka.
Right.
And Doyle. Yeah. Doyle for Wildman.
Right.
These three were always together. But you and Mikey were always together. At one point in time, I thought you guys were living in the same house.
Yeah, no. Same village.
Same village.
But when that incident, I could accept that incident now. But it took me a lot of years to...
It took me some time because I lost a good reading partner.
You're correct. You know, it's reading.
And Mikey would pass and say, "What you have?"
Yeah.
I say, "Okay, Mike." I say, "Okay, right. I'll bring back for you tomorrow." That's our thing. Yeah.
I questioned God on that day, but I get to love God even more because I couldn't believe that two young people died.
Yeah.
The same
two
time.
wonderful young people.
Yeah, man. it took me years to, but I'm fine now. I accept it, and I could speak about it. I couldn't speak about it. I could speak
And
about it.
Mikey died doing what he always did best,
Yeah.
putting people first.
First. Yeah. Because he,
Yeah.
as I just recalling now, I mean, we're going somewhere else, but still it's important. He didn't even know that Gina was in the water. We tell him that she's down there. He wasn't seeing her. My phone. My wife was calling. He didn't know. And he went into the water and died. That was something else. I don't want us to go there.
Anyway, but
yes.
But remember that whenever you step on that stage, just remember Mikey.
Yeah.
That's who you. To me, that's who you represent. Whenever I see you play that guitar, that's who you represent. You represent Mr. Cato, who always liked to read his books. Love to read his book. So
yes,
Wednesday next week we start at 5:30 p.m. and it's going to be. You'll use the word kaleidoscope to describe colors,
right?
But you probably use it's going to be an amalgamation of culture, if that's a proper word to use.
Yes.
Amalgamation
big.
of culture.
Yeah, want to make it really
big. It's gonna be big.
So we're asking everyone now, as I end, we're asking everyone now to come out. It will be spectacular.
Your minister Redhead?
Yes, he will be there.
He'll be there.
Yeah, he'll be there.
And he's bang on with you in this one.
Yes, of course,
great,
he will be
great.
there. We don't too sure, but we also invited the Prime Minister. So seeing that the Ministry of Culture is doing something.
He ain't too busy.
Yeah, he likes this.
If only in strike again.
So we're asking everyone to come out.
Yeah.
We invite as much people as possible to see what the ministry showcase at the end of the year. And I can say safely now that next year we're hoping to do a lot more. So once again, thank you.
One before you go, K-Mark, one of the things that I've always said, and this is one of the things that Real FM believes in, there must be if we try to capture it live, it may mean less persons coming out. Less people coming out. So no. Yeah. But what I think we can do is that with proper audio recording,
right,
we can then later on play pieces that will tell somebody, shucks, I should have been there to hear more.
Especially choral speaking.
So I'm going to charge you guys with the responsibility, Kema, to get us some bits of recording that we can play afterwards.
Good, nice.
Hey, this was part of that event. Yeah. Don't let next year's pass you by.
Yeah, correct. I will take that responsibility so that we can have a proper recording so that you can play it. Yeah, maybe 2-3 days after and say, next year.
Really and truly love to do that.
I will. Let me note that one time.
Well, you better notice it.
Because
you know how Andre is already.
But we get it all, eh?
Or we or you speak for yourself, Mr.
Man, it's difficult to so let me know.
Guys, speak for yourself. Yeah, but really and truly, we need to have this so we can play, so that folks could enjoy.
Really. All right, Mr. Donald, I have to run because I have a busy schedule today. So I want to thank you for giving us the opportunity so that we can speak about the culture. And as you all your mouth, I know I'll be back again. I'll be back again.
You will.
And the folk festival, though, I want to say I will incorporate you.
Thank you.
In a significant way. I don't say in a big way, but in a significant way, so that we can work and really present it this year. Next year, please,
make something big out of it.
Yes, all right?
Kema, thank you. Thank you for stopping by. It was indeed a joy to have you.
You're welcome.
All right, good.
Vision of Culture within the Ministry of Education, Youth, Sports and Culture presents its